is the manufacturing director for Friesland Campina Wamco Nigeria PLC. He joined Friesland Campina Wamco in 2001 as a management trainee and since then functioned in several technical and management capacities in Nigeria, West Africa, while he was based in Abidjan, and the Netherlands. Prior to joining the company, he worked as an electrical instrumentation technician with Shell Petroleum Development Company. He has attended several trainings and professional development courses across different countries, including the United States, Belgium, Netherlands, Spain, and so on, which has exposed him to international best practices and innovative ways of doing business. He has also received numerous commendations and awards for his outstanding contributions to business transformation and achievement of overall corporate objectives. He holds an higher national diploma in physics with electronics from Federal Polytechnic Offa, a PGD in electronics and telecommunication from Federal University of Technology, Akure, and a master's of science in electronic University of Nigeria, Osuka. Also an executive master's in project management from Project Management College, UK, and an MBA from Aston Business School, UK. Mr. Lamidi is an active member of several professional bodies, such as Engineers in Ireland, UK and Ireland, Nigerian Society of Engineers, Nigerian Chartered Institute of Management, Institution of Electrical Engineer, and Nigerian Association of Technological Engineers. He is a highly performing leader, skill strategist, and collaborative relationship builder with remarkable records of driving continuous improvements, building top-notch multicultural teams, leading business expansion initiatives across countries, designing sustainable frameworks, implementing strategy into operations, and delivering optimal business results. Please help me to welcome Mr. Lamidi as he delivers his keynote lecture. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, good evening to the ladies and gentlemen on this floor. Please accept my apology. I'm starting on the existing protocol as said by the Mr. Chairman. I'm happy today to stand in front of you to give the keynote address from our able leaders who brought not only me, but several people, I can count more than 20 in this hall, who swam in his wisdom, who was our coach, our mentor, who also brought us to the limelight of how do you work with Western Europe. Because in the past, there are issues between Nigeria and Western Europe that they always want to dominate us. But to God be the glory, due to what we learned from him, we break all the chains today, and all Nigerians can also write to the role that the Western guys feel that they are important to. Today, I want to borrow, I learned 4 words from him, which is in Arabic. And whenever I meet him one-on-one that I want to talk to him, he always tells me, start it with, please, my sincere apology to all the Islamic scholars. If I don't pronounce it well, I'm only using his voice to say it now. He will always say, Bismillah Shafi, Bismillah Kafi, Bismillah Ma'afi, Bismillah Khair al-Kalam. This is the 4 words he always mentioned, or statement he always mentioned to me. And I'm sure a lot of people that are very close to Mr. Giwa will know that he is a resound Islamic scholar. And I'm proud to say our first year of being in the business, and I have 3 or 4 of my colleagues here, and the day of his birthday, the only thing that we gave to him was Al-Quran. This Al-Quran was with Mr. Giwa in his office till his last day that he left the company. So, showing how much he also identified with Islam and also preached all the good practice of it. I was recruited, if you look at paragraph 4 of my employment letter, says that I should report to Group Milk Production Manager, which is Mr. Giwa. The letter was signed by the chairman sitting here. He signed my employment letter dated March 26, 2001, if I'm right, Adeoti. So he's the one I reported to throughout till he left, because we have this functional reporting to him. And there are a lot that I'm going to mention here today. I only want to use it to celebrate the effort he started, and we are sure that where he is today, he will be happy with the progress we have made so far. So that's why this lecture is this. Usually in our standard in Friesland Campaigner, we start all the discussion with safety. Please, can you play this video for everyone? This is the video. It's a safety video. Every one of us sitting here, we believe that this country is under tense insecurity. This is what this video gives some tips on what we need to do, what we need to be aware of, how we need to be sure that we are conscious of our environment. A lot of places are not safe now. Be aware that what is important is living this life, not dying an ultimate death as a result of this kind of thing. Be assured that you know where you are going, you know the terrain, you know that your cars are good. Don't put your life in the hand of driver. Don't say everywhere you are going in the car. Make sure that what you discuss in the car are not confidential things that can also put you into trouble. All of us, we need to remain safe every now and then. Thank you very much. Next slide. It has been said a lot about me. This is just me. I only work in 2 places in my life. 22 years as of today in WAMCO. And I just briefed 2.5 years we shared. And I've said 22 years out of it, about 10 years as an expert. Next one. Now, going into the theme of the subject of today is to look at dairy technology and the benefits to this society. We can look, I'm happy when the national president made the address, you will hear that a lot of things has been done, and Mr. Giwa is part of the pioneer that set up dairy technology in Nigeria. He set it up, it didn't start from when we started in about 12 years ago in Isheyin in 2005, but it started even when we have the IDF JOS. It was the one that led all the things that developed the IDF JOS, and which also give a lot of things. But if you look at the current situation in the country, you see that we have inflation. Food inflation is 20% now. If you look at supply chain destruction, everybody knows about Ukraine. You know what came with COVID. You also know a lot of import and tariff that are coming from the government on this. Devaluation. I read through social media, unconfirmed, sometimes last week, Thursday, that a dollar is now $7.10 to $1. The devaluation, if you look at energy crisis, Friesland Campaigner WAMCO generates 10 megawatts. I read about 2 weeks ago that the entire country we call Nigeria has crashed to 50 megawatts. So you will start asking ourselves, where are we going with the energy crisis? In the last 1 month, there is no gas again. We rely on diesel. And my colleague here will bear witness. The budget each and every one of us used for diesel last year is about 243% higher as of today. The growth is there. Every one of us and our mothers, sisters that are here, usually they take trolley to go to the market before, but it's now nylon bag. If you look at the insecurity, I don't need to say it, we all know about it. And when you look at unfulfilled promise before the election, there are promises before the election, but look at where we are today. Next one. Next one. So if you look at everything I've mentioned, they're all here. The only good thing that is going to support dairy technology or dairy investment is because of our large population. There will be always demand for dairy, whether we like it or not. And when you also see the young population, people are growing year in, year out, day in, day out. Next one. Dairy. We all talk about the dairy, but the government policy is always stiffing dairy in the neck. I'm not going to go through this, but everybody in this room have read this in the past. Either the government banned forest, you cannot attract it, either they ban milk importation, and you see all this kind of macroeconomic impact is not also supporting the future of dairy. Now, what is dairy? It's milk. There is no basic replacement for milk. After the human milk, which we get from our mother, I don't think there is any replacement for it. I know that we are vegan and all those things. I also know we have some professor in Netherlands now that they are looking for how to mimic human milk, but at the same time, it doesn't replace what we call as milk, because milk naturally gives you everything that you expect to get as the nutrition. Usually, please, I don't know which part. Usually, especially I want to set the record right, because we also know our colleagues in government, always when they are comparing the raw milk with powder that is imported, they always felt it's 1-to-1. Next slide. They always felt it's 1-to-1. Raw milk is 86% of water. Raw milk, fresh milk is 86% of water. Whereas if you import powder, it's 100% of milk. So they are not 1-for-1 ratio, because at the end of the day, the powder, before they bring it to us, starts from the raw milk, and they have to pasteurize, spray dry, remove all the water completely, and make it a complete powder. And which is exactly not the same understanding in government cycle. They don't also understand seasonality. You will see that when you get to around week 40, between week 25 to week 20, you will see that the fat content and protein, and that's the only thing that determines the cost of the milk, always go down. Why? Because that's the drought period. New Zealand, Switzerland, and United States. So the milk requirement is always going down within those periods. And this is what determines the price of milk. If you look at here, and when you come to Nigeria dairy industry, what we need to know, and Prof has said it, is 0.8 liter that a cow can give you in Nigeria per day. 0.8 liter. If you go to Western Europe, you can get 40 liters per day from one cow. We are not even there. We are not even close to it. Mr. Giwa, of blessed memory, when they started our farm in Southwest, the first set of milk they got was 400 liters. After 10 years, that's when we were able to reach 40,000 per day with a lot of investment. Minimum in a year, we spend about 5 million euro on DDP. So investment to even do this is capital intensive. We only grow milk, cow in Nigeria for beef, not particularly for milk. If you look at it, we have more than 1 million dairy farmers in Nigeria. Like I said, it's just about 530 million kilograms. That's the total. That is even expected to happen in 2030. When you look at all this, we see that the milk processor, which is like Cowbell, Wamco, Nuno, and all the rest, will largely depend on the imported. Like I mentioned earlier, you will see the average liter per cow in Western Europe is about 30, which is global. Next one. Next one. This is very important for us to see. Maybe they are too small, but let me just tell you, the demand of government in 2020 is this small one. This is what government demand in terms of raw milk, locally sourced, is this demand. This blue is 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. The green that you see as a company called Friesland Campina, this is our requirement. And I'm sure it will be very close to what my colleague will also talk about. And when you look at the expectation of the government, hardly do they support it with anything. We have been to Bobby, spent about 10 million euro, but at the end of the day, the place was attacked by the bandits. We left it there. And when you also look at all the blue area are the countries who have heavily they can deliver real good milk to us. If you look at Africa, we are not there. Then this golden triangle is so important for us to succeed in dairy technology. We need a tripartite agreement. The government is important because they are the policy maker. We need the agri department in the universities and things like that. We also need an organization like NIFT because at the end of the day, they fall into the Knowledge Institute. We also need the private sector. These stakeholders are the only ones that can make this work in this country. Anything outside it, if we leave everything to government, we will always come back to square one. And that's why even in policy making by government, we also have a role to play. As an institute, as a private sector, as also a knowledge institute, we have a role to play. This is the building block, and that's why sometimes everybody thinks that the dairy business is easy. If we don't get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right, you can never get anything right here. And this is where it becomes very capital intensive. You need adequate feed. That's one of the #1 problems we have in this country. There is no feed for cow. They are always aimlessly roaming about. People need to be trained. You need to improve the breed. You need genetics. Like Prof said, we have a lot of cows in Nigeria, but they are not designed for beef. So you need like Frisian, Gelando, and things like that. Energy, we talk about it. My brother just talked about providing the clean water now. Cows also need clean water. If they don't have water, they cannot give you the right yield you want. You need training and consistent training. And this is the real area that nobody is focusing in. Everybody is only focusing on we can always get milk, sell it, and things. As I speak to you today, the cost of raw milk in Ishei is more than the cost of buying the same one liter of milk, that 86% is water. If you compare it, the same 1 kilogram of powder, the cost of raw milk is more than that. Because after the CBN promulgation in 2019, everybody fall back, and that's extremely very expensive now. So this is the heat map. Yes, we have opportunity of nutrition. But if you see, we have opportunity in the population. We know that the malnutrition will continue if there is no dairy. But we need stakeholder engagement, we need finance, we need to solve problem of supply chain, we need to solve insecurity, The free trade in Africa does not promote local, it promotes importing goods coming in. That's the only reason you have free trade. If you sit there, it's not promote anything locally. You have legislation and policy that are not friendly. You also have the unbranded milk. I'm sure my colleague will talk about it, that are just coming in through the border. And all this tariff, double tariff, triple tariff, then it's also a challenge. Nice. One of the pillars that Giwa stands for is quality. Anywhere in the world, quality is not cheap. Anywhere in the world, quality is not cheap. And, you know, I picked this from one of the notes those days. These are part of the thing that because milk is not about any other thing. It's either you use it to build human being or kill. It's either 1 or 0. So quality is something that is extremely important, which also help, which we were also trained about during the Giwa lifestyle. For Friesland Campina Wamco, where Giwa spent at least greatest part of his life to build, you will see that the playground mentioned by my brother is there, which was started by him and developed. You will see that the dairy development is there, and you will see impacting the life of people is not only that. Even through the same dairy development is started, you can see the number of lives that we have impacted, which is greater than 15,000 people employed indirectly or directly. So I think we need, Mr. Giwa deserves more than kudos, even when it's not there again. Next. When we started, we only have Ishenyi during his lifetime. Today, I can tell you that we have more than 48 milk collection center and milk collection point. Kudos to our leader that started the process. Next. Next. This is the empowerment I spoke about. And why did I bring this? And one of the Giwa mentee is also here, which is Kayode. They are the one that developed the sachet, which we call the low unit portion pack. And one thing that nobody has mentioned is that the entire powder plant in our company was developed by Giwa by himself. Just to slide. So, in a nutshell, this is where Giwa took us from and handed over to distribution. Once again, is a man that all of us will live to remember. We continue to say a big prayer to him and his family that this type of human being and the remaining set of him, whom have mentored, coached us, and make us somebody today, who have also developed a lot of leaders that they should continue to see the grace of God. Thank you.